I belong here. You don't, and you will never change that. It's over.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, Episode 3 review, with the title by. The Ones Who Live centers on Michonne and the complex web of lies, favors, and intrigues that keep Rick Grimes imprisoned in the CRM. Warning, there's a huge spoilers ahead. The concept of debt repayment is more reminiscent of Game of Thrones. After all, it's the Lannister slogan, and the show has a lot of characters repaying symbolic debts, if not literal ones. While The Walking Dead does not have any incestuous families plotting to take over the Seven Kingdoms, although they did have a king, and there are probably incestuous families among the survivors, the Civic Republic is clearly harboring many secrets. The citizens of its secret metropolis have no idea what the military does. The military does not know what the elite frontliners are up to. There are intrigues and gamesmanship among the frontliners. The CRM does employ a monetary system, but it appears that personal favors are the main currency. Rick is forced to confront this reality from the moment he enters the CRM bubble. He doesn't want to be there, not for French fries or onion rings, but because Jaddy's made a deal with the CRM while she was the Junkyardigans captain. They found people and handed them over to the CRM, whether they were a threat or simply a wandering soul yearning for a place to belong. In exchange, the Junkyardigans received supplies. Everyone was a winner until things turned sour. Rick is not happy about being imprisoned in a city from which he cannot escape, but without Jaddy's intervention, he would be dead beneath a mound of smoldering wreckage. He owes Jaddy's his life. She owed him one. And now she's exploited Rick Grimes as a pawn to dodge consignment duty and live in relative luxury. She owed him. Now they are even. Rick may not like it, but the CRM has a 500-year plan to restore civilization, and while Jaddy's can't stop him from trying to flee, he might instead devote his life to making the world a better place for the exact people he's attempting to return to. Even if he dislikes the barter system that Jaddy's uses, knowing the rules of the game before you start playing is preferable to being surprised later. After a time jump, Rick is shown to have mastered how to get things done in the CRM. Utilizing his power with Thorne to get Michonne, or possibly Dana Bethune, into the city and keep her from being classified as an A. Besides, it's what Okafor would have wanted, so Rick adds guilt to his stack of reverse IS to cash in on Thorne. Rick and Thorne both owed him. The best way to repay him is to keep his vision of overthrowing the corrupt General Beale intact. It isn't like he wants to stay. If he leaves, Thorne will suffer the consequences. To cover her tracks, Jaddy's will have to sneak back into Alexandria and wipe out the community. Everyone Rick has spoken to or became friends with will suffer and most likely die, because someone has to clean up the mess or else. Staying incognito is normally a good option in this situation, but Michonne isn't very subtle. She keeps to her story and does a good job portraying Dana Bethune, but everyone around her knows she's not a bee. She's too calm and too skilled with a kill stick. She speaks the talk, but she can't help but be herself, which draws unwanted attention from everyone around her, from the guards to her fellow consignees. Thorne claims that even General Beale has taken a special interest in her. She's put herself on the line for Rick, who was already dubious. Without Okafor, there is no barrier between them and the scrutiny of the man Okafor was attempting to prevent from gaining complete control over a 17,000-strong militia. Rick had given up hope of escape because it would be impossible without injuring many people and killing the individuals he wanted to see again. But Grimes tries again to persuade Michonne to change her mind and flee while she still had the chance. He needed an inside man to survive, and she needs one to help her escape before she becomes as trapped as he is. Rick tells her that if she loves him, she will leave, but Michonne has traveled through 1,000,000 wailing zombies to find Rick, and she refuses to take the easy way out. The conversations between Michonne and Rick are excellent, especially Danai Gurira's WTF expression when Rick informs her she needs to leave town. Lincoln does a fantastic job conveying Rick's desperation to keep Michonne safe and free. These two veterans complement one another quite well throughout the program. However, the talks with Michonne concerning Rick are equally amazing, if not better. Gurira glows in the scene as she wanders through the bazaar and meets the man who carves pictures into phones. He informs Michonne that the guy who continued buying her pictures on phones would never give up on her, to which she responds that it is now her chance to not give up on him. Gurira gives a lovely performance, and the script by Gabriel Lanaz and Matthew Negret has a great line. She's found a man who resembles Rick, But she's seeking the Rick Grimes who bit a man's throat, deposed many corrupt leaders, and refused to give up when things were hopeless. That's the Rick Grimes Michonne is still searching for. In her journal writings, she refers to him as the brave man, the one who may no longer exist as Rick repeatedly tries to drive Michonne away while yet supporting her by having his gun ready to stop Thorn, assisting her in pushing the R-Dim into position to distract the zombies, and so forth. When he eventually admits that they are broken and that everything they have is gone, the agony in Guerrera's eyes and her passive expression are beautiful. She's so adept at boiling beneath the surface, and Michael Slovis captures it brilliantly, conveying that Rick's words hurt, yet she still doesn't believe him when he says them. Tears are slight, yet brilliantly captured and portrayed. Rick is pressing hard, and Andrew Lincoln does an excellent job of making it appear that Rick wants to believe it, but does not genuinely believe it. Everyone participating did an excellent job with their characters. Of course, the episode closes on a cliffhanger, as Michonne grabs Rick during a particularly terrible thunderstorm on the helicopter journey back to Philadelphia, and the two tumble out into the darkness. It seems like a poor idea to me, but it worked for DB Cooper, so perhaps it will work for Michonne as well. Jadis tells Rick that they can do anything together. Perhaps that includes evading the most powerful army on the post-Z planet. Thank you for watching.